thank you very much, first of all, for the film. I absolutely loved it. It's fantastic. Such a interesting and fresh take on a film about a person's life who is obviously very famous, has an enduring musical legacy. Biopics are usually about just that character and their life. This is about a moment in his life where he is part of someone else's and playing an important part. What drew you to that particular story about Vivaldi's life?
Well, everything started by reading a book which is titled Stabat Mater by Tiziano Scarpa, which is a novel about the encounter between Vivaldi and Cecilia. Cecilia being an orphanage in this institution in Venice where Vivaldi has been a teacher for over 40 years. So I really love the fact that gave me the possibility to have a combination between a story of a true character, historical figure, and a possibility to use the fantasy to invent a story between him and one of these one of these musician, and that was the interesting part, and especially also the fact that it's a story where music, it's like a character. It's like it's not just a soundtrack, but it's really a way that you deliver emotion and tells what is happening in the story, and was the main reason for me to do the movie.
Yeah, it's a spectacular story, and there's like really spectacular musical set pieces in it. And were you rehearsing with the actresses playing the orphan girls? How much rehearsal and practice went into those musical pieces?
I casted a group of musicians, professional musicians, as the orchestra. So all the girls that you see in the movie, they are professional musicians. And because I wanted to be very realistic in the acting, in the playing, the music. Tecla Insolia, the actress which is playing Cecilia, and Michele Riondino as Vivaldi, they both took lessons, violin lessons, and I had the music teacher close to me during the session where we were shooting the musical sequences, and I always asked him if what we were shooting was correct from a musical point of view, and the fingers and the bow, and to make sure that works. And Tecla has no double, so all the scenes where you see her playing the music, it's just her, and there's no digital correction in the fingers or in the arms. So she really studied very hard how to play the music and to be really Cecilia, the violinist. And because that was also my desire from the beginning, not to do a film where the post-production intervene too much in the film. So also for the cinematography, for the CGI, it's very simple, and it's the way we were shooting actually.
That's incredible. And I know that you come from a background as an opera director. So how did that inform, like this is a debut film, right? This is your feature debut. It's such a confident and opulent feature debut, like a lot of advice goes around, don't do period pieces because that's a whole other headache. Don't do musical set pieces, obviously you're opera, but you have an opera, a musical consultant there for you. So were you ever thinking, am I going too far here for the first one?
Yeah. This question that you put was really present sometimes in my mind. I remember a few days when I I was looking to the actors on stage, and I said to myself, what I'm doing here with these people with wigs, also because in staging operas, very seldom I use period costumes or wigs. I try to have a contemporary aesthetic always, to relocate the story or to change the frame into something more modern. And then doing my first film, I have people from 18th century with wigs and everything. And the level of complexity that the music brings in the storytelling, it's present. The technical complexity of organizing the set, of shooting people just playing, of organizing the recording of the music. There are also scenes where they are singing. So yeah, sometimes I was thinking if that was the right choice, but then my philosophy is you don't have to be worried about that. You have just to follow your instinct, and always trust your instinct, and then really try to question yourself when you have to take a decision in order to make the best possible thing that you can do out of the ingredients that you have. But then there is a moment that you have to stop these questions, and then you just have to let it go and to do it. And I think this is important.
And what is different from directing operas, and what skills do you bring across from directing operas to directing film?
You could say that everything is different, that has nothing to do, because here you have a camera, everything passed through the lenses of the camera, and you are on a set, and then you can repeat the same scene many times, and these are actors and not singers, different qualities, different needs, different approaches. It's different, the fact that in opera you proceed by repeating things, and only at the end you have the full product. When you do a film, every day you take away one little piece, you don't accumulate, you just delay things. So it's a totally different approach, and it is like that, it's totally different. But at the same time, it's about delivering a story, it's about finding a rhythm. For me, finding a rhythm is the most important thing in storytelling. So with an opera, with a play, with a musical, with a ballet, with writing a romance, you have to find the rhythm. Once you have found the rhythm, then the audience breathe with you this rhythm, and that's the most important thing. And I think this is what I've learned by doing opera, to have a rhythm, to learn a music, a rhythm. And also I think by doing opera since 25 years, I think I have developed an aesthetic, a kind of language that I take care about the details, I take care about the colors, about the but not to become aesthetic, but just to be aware that with colors, with shapes, with lights, with frame, you can deliver a lot already. And yeah, that's something that I think I've learned, not because I've read on the books, but because I've spent a lot of time on stage and working.
Yeah, and that rhythm you're talking about, are you thinking that from the audience's perspective when they're experiencing the piece, in this case the film, or is it a working rhythm that you find?
It's a combination of both, because it starts by being a working, that you feel how you have to shoot a scene, because this needs to have a rhythm. When there is a rhythm, which can be super slow, but it's still a rhythm, then it's never boring. So it's like in music, you can listen to a melody which is super slow, but it becomes that takes your heart away because it's makes like levitating, or you can listen to something super fast and super beat that makes you dancing because it's so energetic and so full of beat, no? So it's a different rhythm. So different rhythm give different atmospheres, different emotion, but an image as a rhythm, a painting as a rhythm. When you walk in the mountain, there is a rhythm. When you walk in a crowded city, it's another rhythm. No, it's just nice also in the daily life to feel the rhythm of the things that you are experiencing, and trying to, when you make something that you are inventing, to give a rhythm to the audience, to the piece, and then the audience will. It's like surfing on a wave. Then you go and you stay on the top of the wave, and then it's at least it's what I like to discover. Then I hope that what I have discovered will be enjoyable also for the audience too.
Yeah, and I think it's also why the length of it doesn't really matter if the rhythm's good, right?
Absolutely.
Like in music and film, like it can be 3 hours and feel very quick, or it can be a short film of like 6 minutes and it lasts forever.
And it's already boring.
Yeah.
No? Yes, precisely.
What do you remember about the first time, if you can remember, when you heard a Vivaldi piece?
Shivering, this kind of thing, this kind of it's really like something some electricity in the air. That's what his music. Even when we are speaking about slow rhythm, but it's. I think this man had a need to deliver something, and you feel that there is an impulse. This is what I like, and I think this is what most of the people like, and what makes him being so popular today, even today. That you feel this music, it's full of energy, it's full of character, it's full of personality. He's brave, and yes, and I think I've heard also recently some interpretation of his music by different violinists, and I've spoken also with them, and they say that you are also quite free in the way that you can give an interpretation of his music, and this is give the possibility to really have this modern language and modern approach on his music.
What do you think about? Do you think that modern approach, or that ability to take a modern approach, is part of what makes him so enduring?
I think so, because it never looks old, and it will never look old, because it's a classic and has this possibility to speak to anybody, he really found the rhythm. He really found this quality, which it's everlasting. It's like Mozart music that's the way that he used the melody and the rhythm, it becomes classical in the sense that goes beyond his own time. It's otherwise he would have been forgotten, and today on Spotify there are 6 million people listening to his music, and I think they find something that has a connection, and I think that this man was a priest in Venice 300 years ago, living in poverty, and then you're still there listening to his music. Yeah, it's means that he wrote something really good.
Shooting in Venice, we're talking about challenges. Another one, your first feature, shooting in Venice. How was that?
Well, I was very relaxed, I have to say, shooting in Venice, because it's a city that I know very well since my childhood, and so I've never been scared about, oh, this is Venice and this is an iconic city and you have to find something personal. I think it was already personal by the fact that I choose a private point of view of Venice, not the most spectacular, not the most iconic, but intimate, private, simple, and honest, because these were the qualities that I wanted these people to have in the story. And then of course Venice, it's tricky because it's expensive, it's slow, it's complicated, everything goes with on the channels and it takes time, but the Venetian dialect, it's my mother tongue, so I really felt warm. I really felt like when you go to the stadium and you want to support your football team, you feel among people who want to enjoy, and they drink beers and they want to support the team. And for me, when I was in Venice, it was the same. I was among my team, my football team, and so I was really relaxed.
You had the home advantage.
Absolutely, and I felt like I know what I'm speaking about. So let's go.
Did you have to factor in, like you said, there's like logistics of the channels and everything? Did that kind of eat into your time? And obviously, time on a film set is the top priority.
Precious, yeah.
Did you have to like reduce the number of takes you'd ideally like to do?
I have to adjust, I would say. I have to adjust a little bit. We had some surprises, also connecting with the flood of the water, because the day that we were shooting in the island, we underestimate the speed of the water. So while we were shooting, the water raised up and we were with our feet in the water, and after half an hour we have to leave because it was impossible. And everybody says, what the fuck, nobody told us that. And nobody expected to be, because when it moves, it goes very fast, and especially if you are already like with a slow gap, a small gap, then the water really goes. And it was very cold also when we shoot that day in the island, but that's the normal life with the cinema. You have to be ready for a plan B, or you have to be ready to find a way to quickly get what you need and use the time in the best way possible. Yeah,
so you had that pressure, you had the music supervisor. Actually, on the music supervisor, did you ever get a take that you loved and then he or she said, well, it wasn't accurate, you have to do it again?
Yeah,
that must be painful.
Yeah, that was my terror, because sometimes I turn like, for me it was perfect, for me it was good, and I turn and said, well, that was not. So you have to repeat. Yes, you have to repeat, please. Yes, but that's part of the job, and but we had a very, very good ensemble of actors, actresses, and the cinematographer, the designer, the costume designer. They were really, really connected with the work, and I was very lucky to have them on my side.
You mentioned the Scarpa novel.
Yes.
How did you come across this book, and did someone put it on your desk? Did you pick it up yourself?
Well, I knew Tiziano Scarpa because he's from Venice. He works also in theater. He wrote theatrical pieces. So since I was coming from theater, we met already. I already know him. And I read the romance years ago because the Stabat Mater won a very important award in Italy, Premio Strega, but that was already more than 20 years ago. And I think somebody else had the idea to turn it into a film at that time. So I read the novel. Then one day I remember I was at one of my friend home, and the novel was on the desk. So I took him and says, I remember this, and I still, because I didn't have at home, and I read it once more, and then I said, maybe this is because I felt a connection with something which was already present. No, it was there, but I forgot, and then I said, maybe this is the good idea. And yes, and then I spoke with Tiziano and I said, I'm thinking about turning your novel into a film, but I want to be free, because the novel is very theatrical. It's a kind of long inner monologue of Cecilia with the ghost of the mother writing the letters in the night. I said to him, I need to open it. I need to add characters. I need to add the conflicts and situation, so it will be very different. That's okay for you? He said, yeah, that's fine. So together with Ludovica Rampoldi, we wrote the script, and we wrote the subject, and then she developed the script, and then we gave the script to Tiziano to read it, and he was happy, so we went on.
And what are you working on next, if you can say?
Well, next I have operas to be doing. Next week I start in Zurich a new production of an opera by Mozart, and I have projects for the next year, so also in opera. And I've just finished the Olympic ceremony in Milano, the Winter Olympic opening ceremony, which was a great experience. I was one of the creative directors there. So this year I've been doing many different things, which is good to change the approach and the work. But definitely I'm developing another project for the cinema, so I'm trying to make space for that and to be ready for another film.
Fantastic. Well, really looking forward to it. We have one final question which we ask everyone,
right,
which is, where do you like to sit in the cinema?
Where I like to sit in the cinema?
Yeah, like at the front, back, side to side?
Quite front, with the image eating me.
Front row?
Well, maybe not front, but let's say yes.
Front or row B or something.
Sì. I like it. Yes, I like to be inside the picture. Yeah. Yes. Maybe it's exaggerated, I know, but it's like a feeling of if I go to the cinema, then I have to be really an experience.
Yeah, well, like televisions are getting big, but you still can't experience that of being like immersed, like your periphery in it, you know. So the cinema is unique in that sense.
Center, first row.
Very good. Thank you very much, Damiano.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
No worries.